フルカウンター
Alright boys, welcome back to the Grand Cross video. Today we're going to do a quick should you summon on the new Sweet Jelly King, go over the new content, and obviously talk about what is coming, because it's quite important, because big things are coming. Rumbling is coming, basically. It's the best way to describe it. But let me start by saying this. Should you summon? Now the character himself is really, really good. If they had released Gloxinia with the exact same kit, it would have been probably a must summon. But unfortunately, it is a king, which means you cannot use Full Wing King or any other king in the future. And when the only usable fairy right now in Grand Cross for a very long time, basically ever, is always been King, there's never really been a usable fairy other than him. It's hard to say something for this character when the character himself wants a lot of fairy support, but we're not getting fairy support. That's the big problem. But like I said, MAEL should be coming for the global anniversary probably in 2 weeks time. Actually, I think at the end of the month we are going to be getting the global anniversary, and MAEL should be the character. He's not confirmed, but I do think the fact that we're heading towards the end of this series, a lot of hype characters, a lot of end game characters, we got to get MAEL at some point in the future, because he's getting, it's getting a bit too late to get him, so we got to get him now. And for the global anniversary, it'll make sense. The character's quite hyped up, and he would be a good celebration for the global anniversary. And then obviously after that, he had confirmed we are going to be getting a new collaboration, and it should be AOT. It's not confirmed. It could be Black Clover, One Piece. You never know what it could be, because everyone is waiting for the rerun, for the buffs, the relics. They have to come back at some point, and there's a good chance they will be coming back April or March after the global anniversary. But if not, you can guarantee there's new collaborations. So if you're more interested in collab characters, then you can skip and save it out. Me personally, I think I will be skipping MAEL, especially if it is MAEL, because there's a good chance he is going to be a god of support. Alright, let's talk about the character. So he wants to have a full fairy team. So that basically means you want to use most likely Hellbrim and also the Spring Elaine. Now the Spring Elaine unfortunately is not on the banner. If she was, then honestly I'd recommend it in a way, right? But if you do not have the Spring Elaine, the actual blue winged Elaine, the small one, then you cannot really use this character, because you want to have a fairy, and there's no way for this character to debuff, where the winged Elaine does debuff every single turn. So it's kind of like the Brunhild to the Freya. If you didn't have Brunhild with the Wednesday one, I wouldn't really recommend something for Freya, because you kind of need those two together, where he's kind of the same situation where you want to have the Spring Elaine. So if you don't have her, I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. You might as well just wait, because the thing with this character is we have to wait to get more support for him. Because the more fairies that come into the game, the better the character is going to be. And since it is a king, it does eliminate probably 90% of the characters that you can use of him. Because like I said, you can only use basically, you know, Winged Elaine. You could use Gloxinia, but like, come on, who's using Gloxinia? And you can use Hellbrim. But once again, who's using Hellbrim? These are old characters, outdated characters. We can't be using those characters against Purge, Medios, and also Ultimate Escanor. We're far past that point by now. We need new fairies. And there are a few fairies on the horizon that we could be getting in the game, such as obviously Dahlia. Dahlia we know will be coming at some point in the future. However, how long in the future we do not know. So to summon now to get Dahlia in the future, it might not be worth it. We also know that we're going to be getting a few Lancelots, whether that be from 4 Knights from the movie or even his fairy form. So he will probably be broken and actually might make this king really, really good. But once again, how long would that be? A few months, a year or two. Remember when we started talking about Assault Meliodas, we always said that his character would become broken as he gets more support, and it took him 2 years to get Esterosa to be viable. So like, to summon now when there's big things coming like AOT or even a collaboration with MAEL for the global anniversary, and of course probably Sacred Treasure Barn or a new light and dark character for the JP anniversary, it's so hard to recommend summoning. You might as well skip, and maybe for the actual end of your banner next year, he will likely be on the banner too. But his first skill is a single target poison. Honestly, kind of a shame, because I've seen the numbers this card does. Kind of insane. For a poison skill as well, that's kind of saying something. So if the character had, like, let's say single target weak point or any actual skill that increases damage multiplier, then this would have been a crazy skill. I guess it kind of balanced him a little bit, but once again, it's kind of a shame that it's for king. And then the second skill is AoE weak point. You lot know how this skill works. It's going to be 1 ton of people, especially if it had a good team. But yeah, we kind of just get a weak point character for every single race. We have it for Unknowns with Philo. We got it with, I guess, the humans of Brunhild. We now have it with Fairies. So what's next? So he's going to get an AoE weak point for Demons or Giants, right? We might get a massive AoE wipe. And you know how this skill works. The whole point of it is just to 1 ton. Especially with the fact that this team is so squishy. With the fact that Kin can likely and will die 1 turn. Especially only uses a few skills, right? And if you don't kill the Perk Melee, you don't kill the Ultimate Escanor, he's dead, and then all you got left is Winged Elaine, Hellbrim, and whoever you got in a sub slot, like say Ragnarok Barn, like you've just an instant L. So we've kind of moved away from one turn DPS gods, and we moved in towards like, you know, 3 or even 2. So you know, we have Ultimate Escanor, you have obviously Tret Melee with him. If someone dies, you still have a backup. Where this team, he is the nuke, and if he dies, and it's done, you can't do nothing. So that's once again one of the bad thing about him. But obviously that can change a relic towards Gloxinia or even some more fairies in the future. Alright, so for the actual ultimate, it's the exact same. Honestly, a really good one. Abyss is by far one of the best ultimates in the game, especially for PvE content. We saw how good the last Wing King was. We saw how good Rimuru was. We saw how good Freya was, but Freya's a little bit different because she has a better version of Abyss. But yeah, to get a 600 down banner, to get Abyss is not bad. However, like I said, the character is seasonal, so they're very, very rare. If you do not pull him now, you probably won't pull him for a very, very long time. Alright, so do I recommend summoning? Honestly, if you're free to play or you're a casual player and you don't really care about this king, I wouldn't summon. Honestly, if this was, let's say, Gloxinia or Elaine, I would have summoned. Not because it would have been usable with, obviously, a Dotwing King, but I like the character. And that's kind of how Caesars are, basically. You don't really care about what they do. You care about how they look. So if you like this king and the way he looks, then I recommend summoning because why not, right? He's your favorite character. Because like I said, if this was Deldry, I wouldn't even question it. I'm summoning, right? And the character look-wise does look pretty sick, but to be fair, boys, I'm not a big fan of King, especially in this form. So for me, I'm just going to escape and save for the real Valentine's unit, which is this Queen Diane skin right here. This is by far probably the best way to buy through the Valentine's update. And look at it. I mean, if you want this, well, you can buy, obviously, the other characters. I've started to like Escos now because it looks actually kind of sick with the bunny ears. But, yeah, Melee I can't back. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, boys, that's all for today. Let me know if you guys are going to be summoned. Like I said, you can summon now, but you're going to have to wait a few weeks even, or months, years to get more fairy support. When we get Dahlia, when we get Lancelot's, there's like 4 different versions of him. We could be getting Gloxinia. We could get him, to be fair. Gloxinia could be a character. We still have to get the Yggdrasil armor. But the problem is, we don't know when that's going to be coming, or if they're going to do it at all. And we still need to get the final versions of, obviously, Gloxinia, so we could get him as well. We can get another version of Elaine that could be coming out for the actual anniversary for JP. We can get part 2 to the actual Barn Festival that is him. And right now, it looks like this new Demonic Beat battle is kind of being made to get relics for, obviously, commandments. So we're going to be getting a Gloxinia commandment sometime in the future. And at that point, it could make King relevant because, I mean, Zelda's got a really good passive or really good relic as well. So you never know what could happen. But that's the problem. You don't know what could happen. They could do that, but they could also not do that. So a bit too risky for right now, especially right after Freya, right after Ultimate Escanor, right after Purgatory Medios. I think we need a break right now. So I think it's a good skip banner. So boys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you lot are doing. And yeah, peace.